according to the Hope's team plan, e-library will be like a very good hub for all your educational resources. එහෙම තමයි අපි එක හදන්නේ. Where you can get, as I said, notes maybe, worksheets maybe, past paper reviews maybe. Because sometimes when you try to do past papers on your own, sometimes you won't be able to figure out the answer. But through our past paper reviews, it's not just only a question and answer, not just a marking scheme. There will be like a explanation for each answer. So I'm a past paper reviews, and then there will be like certain video lessons in the future. That video lessons part will be in the future. Then even your recordings, we are planning to put them through the LMS to the e-library. So එහෙම එකක් තමයි අපි හදන්නේ. So to a much bigger future plan, the first step is logging into the LMS. So I suppose, according to what Miss Divya told me, all of you got the LMS access details, including the username, password, and the URL. Link එකක් එන්න ඇති ඔයගලන්ට. එහෙම ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවද? ඇවිල්ලා නැති කවුරු ඉන්නව නම් මට කියන්න. එතකොට through that you are able to log in, right? For now, the LMS is pretty simple. You can just get the link from that. But in the future, it's going to be very resourceful for you. Because you guys are still in the mid-grade 10, right? Ogalang at the end of grade 10, and when you go to grade 11, having all those resources will be very, very useful for you, right? So it's not just doing a class and teaching you for 2.5 hours and end of the story. That's not what I want for you. And that is just not what I want to do. Nikang me pade kamaru ganala, okay, end of the story. I want you all to gain much more, and I want to do much more for my satisfaction as a teacher, and also for you as students. It's always better to have a lot of resources, because I know, especially danang attatama adui issaranang, for English medium students, it was very challenging to even find classes. And even today, I know in certain areas, even finding classes itself is difficult for English medium students. And online resources are quite limited. Then ටිකක් හොඳයි. There were textbooks එහෙම තියෙනවා, past papers එහෙම online ගන්න පුළුවන්, and සමහර provincial papers, school papers නම් මම දන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා. But සිංහල medium වල resources වැඩි online වුණා. Because ඉස්සර ඉඳන්ම තිබ්බ එකනේ සිංහල medium. Times have changed, so it's better now. But what I want to build is like a hub of everything to make your education easier. අර මේ හොය එහෙම නැතුව hub එකක් හදලා ඔයගලන්ට හැමදේම හරි ලේසියෙන් access කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙනවා. So even if a student from Trincomalee, Jaffna, Batticaloa, because I know these areas I have talked to students from these areas, different areas in Sri Lanka. So I know that in certain areas, ඇත්තටම ගොඩාක් urbanized areas වල classes තියෙනවා. Colombo is like very concentrated. There are a lot of classes. But if you go to other areas in Sri Lanka, there are not enough classes. And also access සමහරට අඩු වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒකින්ද කොහේ ඉන්න ළමයි class එකට ආවත්, they should be able to access all the resources as well. So that is the long-term vision. මම එක ඔයගලන්ට කිව්වේ, I want you all to actively participate in this LMS situation. I know at the beginning it will be difficult because today also you had trouble logging in. But please be patient. Please bear with us. Bear with me. And feedback then. ඔයගොල්ලෝ මේ journey එකට මට support කරන්න. Feedback then. ඔයගොල්ලන්ට login වෙන්න අමාරු නම්, or if your username password didn't work, ඒක වැඩ කරන්නේ නැහැ, වැඩක් නැහැ. එහෙම නැතුව just let me know, or let Miss Divya know. Or like you were not able, in the future when we upload all these different materials, if you cannot access, or if some other issue comes, just give feedback, constantly give comments so that we can improve. So rather than just using the LMS, I would really love for you to be a part of developing the LMS by giving feedback. That's all I'm asking. So today you said you cannot join and you cannot log into the LMS. That's a very good feedback. That means there's something wrong, and I will tell my tech team to work on that. ඒ වගේ ඒ feedback එක දෙන්න, I would really appreciate that. And so while we are developing these, your future batches, Ogalanta Junior and a batches, future generations will have something bigger to use. right? And also e-library I don't know if you know this, but Hope Education has a separate AI for O-level English medium science. Maths වලට නෑ, science වලට විතරයි දැන්ට තියෙන්නේ. ඒකේ access එකත් ඔයගන්ට ඉස්සරහට මම හදලා දෙන්නම්. It's only for class students at the moment, but there are going to be certain other tools that are going to be accessible for public, whether a student comes to the class or not. So it's not just for class students, but it's also for all the students. ඔය quiz එක එහෙම දැන් develop ඒකත් හදන ගමන් තියෙන එක ඔය එක errors වගේක් ඇවිල්ලා I think I told you about the quizzes situation, but again there were some errors because these technological things, until they are perfect, they are constantly being developed. So එතකොට ඒකත් දැන් ආයමත් edit කරන ගමන් and maths වලට there's going to be a flashcards feature. මේව ඔක්කොම public එකට accessible වෙන විදිහට දාන්නේ. ඒ වගේ there are so many things coming, and in due time I will give you access to the AI as well, because AI you know, it's not a bad thing really, it's all about how you use it, right? So ඔක්කොම O level resources ටික දාපු ඒක ගොඩක් science වලට තියෙන, but maths ළමයිට ඔක්කොටම මම access දෙනවා. maths එක නම් ඇත්තටම තාම අපි develop කරන්න පටන් ගත්තේ නැහැ, to be honest with. So but it will be happening in the future. So be a part of the journey, and while you also get benefited, your future generations will have a lot more. My year class එකටත් කිව්වේ that's the difference between developed countries and developing countries. අපි developing countries වල මොන හරි දෙන දෙයක් කාලා වෙන දෙයක් බලන් ඉන්න විදියටනේ තියෙන්නේ majority of the population. But එහෙම නෙවෙයි, we have to take action. When the world is moving, we also have to move, right? That's how we keep updated. That's how we don't fall behind. Okay. So with that little message, මම එක කියන්න එක හේතුවක් තමයි අද ඔයගන්ට පොඩි difficulties කීපයක් ආපු එක. And also yes, requesting your feedback and all these other comments, whatnot. All right, with that being said, let's start. Where did we stop last day?
Miss, last we did inverse proportions, and after that you gave homework. We start like in the end you gave inverse proportions and you gave homework in exercise 9.3.
All right, one second. Let me get the textbook. I have not opened it. Can you repeat the homework, Ismail, again?
9.3, 8, 9, and 10.
And that's it?
8, 9, 10, yes.
9.3, 8, 9, 10. Okay, inverse proportions are no homework, no?
No, miss. You just gave method 1 of solving inverse proportions and then you told us to leave space for method 2.
Right, okay. So let's quickly discuss the homework. අපි චුට්ටක් පොඩි අපිට delay එකක් තියෙනවා because a few classes were missed. I will reschedule all the classes and let you all know, but let's quickly finish all of this and get back on track. හරි, එතකොට 8.3 එකේ, so 9.3. Thank you, Maria. I got your message as well. 9.3, 8, 9, 10. Okay, let me get the question to the whiteboard. I hope all of you did the homework. Homework කරන්න නැත්නම් class එන්න එපා ඇත්තටම. The reason is because you guys know how much time we spend doing homework, right? Discussing homework. Why do you think we spend so much time discussing homework? I can just quickly discuss 1 or 2 homework and then we can just do the rest of the lessons and we can cover the syllabus fast. But that's not all to it. Maths wala theory ඉගෙන ගන්න විතරක් නෙමෙයි, the most important thing is doing questions. So if you don't do homework, if you cannot participate in this homework discussion, there's really no point. Okay, මොකද ඉගෙන ගන්න theory you're going to forget. But experience from doing questions, it will stay in your memory. So you may not even realize it, but it stays in your memory. Experience, the practice, right? Ekai, since we spend so much time doing homework, if you don't do homework and come, you will feel very lost. So it would be better if you don't just come to the class if you don't do homework. Okay. In the quadrilateral PQR, so this is a quadrilateral. We don't know whether this is a rectangle or square or whatever, just a quadrilateral. Manikang roughly andinna. Okay. So this is PQRS. PQ is equal to SR. The diagonals PR and diagonal QS are equal in length. Then may I equal in length? Eka mata metana mark karanna baha, but I will write it on the side. PR equals QS. They intersect at T. Prove that triangle PQR is congruent to triangle SQR. PQR is this one. SQR is this one. So we have to prove that these are congruent. Quadrilateral kila dila thina, rectangle kila dila nahi, just that PQ equals SR. Diagonals are also equal. Okay, what is the case? What is the case here?
SSS.
Okay, SSS, and I'm also getting answers in the chat box. AAS. AAS? It's actually SSS. No. Why? Because now baranda mein aap triangles dekhe. Here the side PQ of the yellow triangle is equal to side SR of the green triangle, which is something that they have given. PQ equals SR. PQ equals SR given. Then PR of the yellow triangle equals SQ of the green triangle. Ekat metati on PR and QS, which are equal in length. So PR equals QS given. And QR is the common side because both triangles have that. So QR equals QR. Not given, common side. Therefore, triangle PQR equals triangle SQR. Congruent. Triangle SQR. The case is SSS. Alternate. Yes, they don't say the sides are parallel. So we cannot use alternate angles. There's no parallel sides here. Okay. Is this clear, Lama? Give me a thumbs up. Okay. QT equals RT. QT equals RT. එතකොට බලන්න අපේ yellow triangle එකේ මෙන්න මේ angle එක ඉන්නවා PRQ. Green triangle එකේ ඉන්නවා මේ angle එක which is PQR. Are they equal? Are they equal? Are they equal?
Yeah.
Check again. They actually are equal. Why? Because now these yellow triangle and the green triangle are congruent. When two triangles are congruent, the corresponding elements are equal. Okay, corresponding elements are all equal. So these two angles are corresponding angles of congruent triangle. So they are equal. We can write the reason as corresponding angles of congruent triangles. Balanna, if you consider this little triangle QTR. මම මේ yellow එකයි green එකයි erase කරන්න මේ බන් චූටි එකේන QTR. Can you see that these two angles that we said are equal are actually angles of this little triangle? And we know, according to the theorem we learned, in a triangle, if two angles are equal, the sides opposite to those two angles are also equal. The side opposite to this angle is this side. The side opposite to this angle is this side. Therefore, we can say, therefore, QT equals RT. කෙලින්ම ලියන්න පුළුවන්. Reason එක sides opposite to equal angles in a triangle. We learned this last week, converse theorem කියලා අපි ඉගෙන ගත්තේ. Okay, up to this point, is it clear, ළමයි? All right, quickly copy this down. Let me plug my laptop to the charger. එතකොට ඔයගොල්ලෝ මේක recorrection කරගන්න ටක් ගාලා. All right, am I done?
Yeah, miss.
All right. 1 second. The picture is so common side. These were the ninth question. All right. Okay. Ninth I discuss karam. I'll check that. All right. Let's go to the ninth one. Now it's enough time. If you need more time, you can do the recorrections using the whiteboard note. Okay. In the triangle ABC, okay, we have a triangle ABC, which they have given. Side AB equals side AC. So AB කියන side එකයි AC කියන side එකයි equal. The bisector of ABC and ACB meet at O. ABC ගේ bisector කියලා කියන්නේ this line divides ABC into two parts. කියන්නේ this angle equals this angle and this angle equals this angle. Because bisector of ABC and ACB bisect කරන එකන තමයි ඕවල meet වෙන්නේ. That means these two are equal, these two are equal. AO produced meets BC at D. Prove okay. Prove that BOC is an isosceles triangle. All right. Now, do you think ABC is an isosceles triangle?
Yes, miss. Yes, yes.
Yes. Because AB equals AC, two sides are equal, so it's an isosceles triangle. Let's start by writing that. Let's take step by step. AB equals AC, they have given that. Reasons, I will write it very roughly. Mostly in the future, you will see, mostly when we write reasons, I just verbally tell the reason. I verbally tell the reason so that you can get it corrected. Because writing reasons and all of that, it takes time. No? And time is what we have, what we're lucky. Okay, so no matter how fast or slow we go, time is something we're lacking always. So, anyways, so then here, therefore, triangle ABC is an isosceles triangle. Okay, so since it's an isosceles, now that we know it's an isosceles triangle, we know in an isosceles triangle, the angles opposite to equal sides are equal. Therefore, may loku angle ekai, may loku angle ekai equal. We can say, therefore, angle ABC equals angle ACB. We can write the reason as angles opposite to equal side of a triangle. You can use angle sign for angles, triangle sign for triangles.
Excuse me, miss.
Yes, Ismail.
Instead of writing that angles opposite to equal sides of the triangle, can't we write isosceles triangle? ABC triangle is isosceles triangle.
Okay. Depends on the marking scheme. So when you say, when you write for the reason you write ABC is an isosceles triangle, no?
Yes, miss.
Okay. So now the reason is not very specific. I told you when we're writing reasons, we have to imagine as if the person who's marking doesn't know much. Step by step mindset So for this particular instance, I think it depends on the marking scheme and the person who's marking. Samanning, if the marking scheme is very strict or the person who's marking it is very strict, and I mean the reason is not specific enough. May statement එක ලියන්න හේතු වෙච්ච reason එක අපි reason ලියනවා කියලා කරන්නේ. But usually the people who mark the O-level paper, they're not like super strict. So they might give you marks for that. But always better to learn the right way of writing reasons. Okay?
Okay, miss. Thank you.
Okay. So, ABC equals ACB. Now, last week we were talking about it. To make it easier, we can just put letters now. So, apita pulam medina XX. So, we know actually ABO and OBC are equal. ABO equals OBD or OBC equals X. Why are these two angles equals? Because they have given it, right? Angle is bisected by BO. ඒකේගොල්ලන් දීලා තියෙනවා. මේකට නම් given කියලා දැම්මත් කමක් නැහැ because they have also given that. So ඒකට given කියලා දැම්මට කමක් නැහැ. Here මෙයාට y දාලා මෙයාටත් y දාන්න පුළුවන්. That means ACO equals OCB. එතනට මම equals y කියන එකක් දානවා. So ඒකේ reason එක angle is bisected by CO. Now Bana ABC is equal to ACB. Now ABC is ABO plus OBC. So here instead of ABC, I write ABO plus OBC. Equals here instead of ACB, I write ACO plus OCB. Then ABO and OBC, they are both X plus X equals ACO plus OCB means Y plus Y. That means 2X equals to Y. When you divide both sides by 2, we get X equals Y. So now we know OBC is X. So instead of X, I can write therefore OBC equals, now this is Y. OCB because OCB is Y. So OBC equals OCB. Okay. So let's go back to the diagram. So what we are saying here is that this angle equals this angle. If these two angles are equal and you take this little triangle, you know sides opposite to equal angles are equal. Therefore, this side equals this side. Therefore, OB equals OC. Therefore, OB equals OC. Reason, sides opposite to equal angles of a triangle. If OB is equal to OC, two sides equal triangle, that means it's an isosceles triangle. So we can say BOC is an isosceles triangle. Okay. Is this clear to all of you, Lamai?
Yes, miss.
Yes, okay. Can you all quickly copy this down so that I can move on to Roman number 2? Quickly copy this down. If your answer is correct, no problem. If not, just do the recorrections. I straight away wrote BO equals OC without writing anything. How can you say that? BO equals OC, you can't just straight away write because there has to be some flow, right? How did this happen? How did that happen? There has to be a reason. Okay. Okay, Lamai. So Roman number 2. I think that's enough time for Roman number 1, right? So Roman number 2, AOB is congruent to AOC. I can see that, ne? I'm going to erase karana. AOB is this. AOC is this. All right, so let's see. I'll write on this side. First, I put the topic. Make a practice AOC. So we know AB equals AC because that's given. AC, that's given. Then BO equals OC because we just wrote it here. OB equals OC. OB equals OC. Mukade ke reason kar liya. What do we write for the reason? मैं आगे का मुकादर reason कर लिया.
Given.
No, make a given never.
Given.
No, given never because this is something we found here. What do we put? So
Proven above.
Yes, proven above. Or you can say already proven. Something like that, something that gives a meaning. Because OB equals OC, they have not given in the question. Mama recent geometry question answer I'm trying to explain it to you. OB equals OC, they have not given. But it's something that in the previous step, we found it. That's something we found. So when you are using it again, you have to say proven above. Or you can say already proven. Or something like that. Then AO equals AO, that's the common side. Common side. Therefore, triangle AOB is congruent to triangle AOC under the SSS case. That is what they're asking us to prove. Is that clear, Lama? Give me a thumbs up. All right. Api ilanka discuss kar lamimu. Then I'll give you time to do recorrections. AD is perpendicular to BC. How do we get that? How do we
can
get
prove that ABD triangle is congruent to ACD triangle and show that it's 90
congruent,
degrees.
then what happens?
Then we can show that ADC plus ADB in a straight line is bisected and is 90 degrees in both sides.
Yes, correct. So one way to do this is, so that is one way to do this. Good. Where we prove, we make these two triangles congruent. May are congruent. Listen to this. ABD triangle, we are going to make it congruent to ACD. Okay. When these two triangles are congruent, we can see that they can be made congruent. Mea equal to mea. And then this is the common side. And we earlier said that these two triangles are congruent. Therefore, these angles are also equal. So you can use SAS case to make them congruent. Okay. So once you make them congruent, we know that this angle is equal to this angle. Okay. So if I give this, if I label this angle as Z, this will also be Z. And we know this is a straight line. So Z plus Z will be 180 because it's a straight line. Okay. That means 2Z is 180. So 2Z is 180, now Z is 90. So from that, if Z is 90, that means this is a right angle. Ekeka. Same, almost the same thing. Again, we make this triangle and this triangle congruent. When we make them congruent, we can say that BD side equals DC side. Okay. If BD equals DC, we know that D is the midpoint. Do you remember we learned in this lesson, in an isosceles triangle, when you draw a line from the apex to the midpoint of the opposite side, that is perpendicular. Do you remember learning something like that? Lamai, please excuse me for 1 minute. All right. So, anyhow, we have to make the two triangles congruent. So that's what we'll do first, right? ABD and ACD. These are our two triangles. AB equals AC. AB equals AC, that is given, right? Then we can say AD equals AD, common side. AD equals AD, common side. Common side, and that's the reason is common side. Then we can also say here, these two angles are equal because මුලින්ම අපි කියවනේ මේ triangle එකයි congruent කියලා. Then these two angles become equal anyways. So BAD equals CAD. BAD equals CAD. Reason is corresponding angles of congruent triangles. So then under the SA's case, we can say, therefore, triangle ABD is congruent to triangle ACD under the SAS case. Now that they are congruent, අපිට අර methods දෙකෙන් ඕන එකක් use කරන්න පුළුවන්. Since the method that I received was that the method that was told earlier, උගන්ට එක clear ඇති මං හිතන්නේ. මෙයා එතකොට මෙයාට equal, if I label one as Z, the other one will also be Z. So 2Z, it's a straight line, so it's 180, then 1Z will be 90. Since that was already told, I will use the other method for this. එක අපි discuss කරන්නේ අනිත් method එක අපි ලියලා බලමු. So we can say BD side equals DC side. Now that these two triangles are congruent, we can say therefore BD equals DC. දෙකම හරි ආ. Corresponding sides of congruent triangle. BD equals DC. Therefore, D is the midpoint of BC. And අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් කෙලින්ම therefore AD is perpendicular to BC. බලන්න මම reason එක ලියන විදිය. Line joining the apex of an isosceles triangle to the midpoint of the opposite side is perpendicular to the opposite side. මෙහෙම තමයි reason එක ලියන්නේ. So this is the reason. It's quite a long reason. Then I'm pretty sure some of you have forgotten. මොකද්ද මේ කිව්වේ කියන එක සමහර අයට මතක නැහැ. So to sort of revoke your memory, I will share a screenshot of this exact thing that we wrote from the textbook. Do you remember අපි triangles හතරක් ඇඳලා මෙන්න මේ හතර ගැන කතා කරා? Do you all remember? Give me a thumbs up. Okay. So this reason and this whole thing is based on this. So just reminding you that. All right, please do recorrections of Roman number 2 and 3. I'll give you 2 minutes for recorrections and we'll quickly move on to 10th question. Make it fast. All right. So let's move on to the next question. I මොකද 10 එකනේ 10th එක දුන්නානේ. Right, let me get the question to the, oh, that's a circle. Interesting. Did you all do the 10th question, Lama?
Yes, miss.
Others? Give me a thumbs up if you did. Okay. 1 second. Why is the screenshot not loading? Okay. Load වෙනකම් මම දැන් අඳින්නම් diagram එක. So we have a circle. Something like this we have. Then something like this. And something like this. So a circle of center O. In this circle, center is O. This is the 10th question. Huh? Show that BOC equals 2ABC. So I will prove කරන්න I will write it on the top just so that, because I don't have the question on the whiteboard right now. BOC equals 2BAC. This is what we have to prove. So then other terms are here, the other letters are here A, here B, and here C. Okay. O is the center. Then AB has to be the diameter, no? AB is the diameter. We have to prove that BOC is 2BAC. All right. මෙහෙමද කරේ කියලා බලන්න. If you consider this small triangle OAC, do you think the side OA is equal to the side OC? Do you think that's true?
Yes.
Okay, why is that?
Because of the radius of a circle.
Correct. This is radius. This is also radius because O is the center. So in the triangle AOC, OA equals OC. The reason we write radii of the circle. Radius plural is radii, right? Then therefore this is an isosceles triangle, and therefore we know this angle and this angle are equal because angles opposite to equal sides in an isosceles triangle. I'll write that this is an isosceles triangle. Isosceles triangle. Therefore, OAC is equal to OCA. Reason is angles opposite to equal sides of an isosceles triangle. I'm gonna give it a මෙහෙමම තියමුකෝ. නැත්නම් අපිට ඕන letter එකක් දෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. නැත්නම් මෙහෙමම ලියන්නත් පුළුවන්. So if you want to give it a letter, you can say this is X and this is X. But එහෙම නැතත් කමක් නැහැ. අපි X කියලා X නැතුව ලියලා බලමුකෝ. All right. Now look at this one. If you take this triangle, can you see that this BOC is an exterior angle? BOC is an exterior angle. All right. So we know in a triangle, exterior angle equals sum of interior opposite angles. So, මේ triangle එක exterior angle එක, that is equal to sum of interior opposite angles, which is AOC plus OCA. OAC plus OCA. We'll write the reason. Exterior angle equals sum of interior opposite angles. And now we know OAC and OCA are equal. So instead of OCA, I can write OAC because they're anyways equal. That means BOC is equal to AOC plus AOC, which is 2AOC. Can you see, lamai? OAC kiyanne, it's the same as BAC, right? OAC means BAC anyways. It's the same angle. Therefore, instead of OAC, we can write 2BAC. Is this clear to you? Give me a thumbs up. All right, 2 minutes to do recorrections. Make it fast.
No, I am not giving my answers.
Am I done?
Don't.
Done. Oh no. What did you say? All right. So inverse proportions is what we were doing. We did method number 1. මොකක්ද method number 1 එකේ කරේ? We wrote number of men, number of days, and then we converted that to a ratio and a fraction. We did cross multiplication and we wrote. That's what we did, no? Yes. Can somebody read me the question we used last week? Man matagana api textbook question ka use kare kera. Now homework discussion over. We are coming back to inverse proportions. Can somebody tell me the question we used last week? Just read me the question. It's probably a short one, no?
It takes 5 men 8 days to complete a certain task. How many days will it take 10 men to do the same task?
Maria, you can slow down. I'm typing. It takes 5 men 8 days to complete a certain task. Maria, what was the other one?
How many days will it take 10 men to do the same task?
It will take 10 men to do the same task. Men to do the same task. I can type fast, but that speed I can't catch. All right. So okay. So we are at inverse proportions. Homework discussion over. Now it takes 5 men 8 days to complete a certain task. How many days will it take 10 men to do the same task? Right. Did we change this question later on? Or make vitarda pe use kare? Is this the last question we were trying?
Yes, miss.
Right. So under this we did method number 1. Okay. Okay. Now it's all clear. Method 2 is, so for the same question we'll discuss method 2. Method 2 is a method that we will be using the most, right? Method 2. Here what we are going to do is, okay. So now for this particular task, 5 men have taken 8 days to complete it. So if 5 men have taken 8 days to complete it, we can get an idea about the size of the task, right? If 5 men took 8 days to complete it, okay. Then what is the size of this task here? We can get an idea. Okay. So we are going to calculate the size of the task. We say magnitude of the task. We task के size से काफी calculate कर. So here 5 men have taken 8 days to complete this task. How do we calculate the magnitude? By multiplying men and days. The number of men multiplied by the number of days. I will give you a little advice here. So you may wonder, so in all inverse proportions, we don't get men and days, right? There could be other things. How do we calculate color? You might wonder. But don't worry about it. Just focus on the question that we are doing now. Because for other stuff, we will be doing many more questions before we end this lesson. So you will get a very good understanding of inverse proportions while we are doing questions. So when I'm discussing one question, just focus on that question alone. Okay. So magnitude of the task, how do we do it? Number of men we multiplied by number of days. Number of men is 5 men. Number of days is 8 days. So 5 times 8 is 40. So what is the unit? There is no real unit here. But just for us, so that it's easier for us to use, men multiplied by days. So we say it's man days. Because am I actually in inverse proportions? Most of the questions are men and days questions. Mechur Minisugana took this many days. Then how many men will do this task in this many days, or how many days will it take for this many men? So most of the times it's about men and days in this lesson. So that's why we just say man days, but there are of course other questions as well. We'll see them when we do those questions. So we calculate the magnitude of the task. Harida. Then what is the next scenario? Now, how many days will it take for 10 men? Now, this same formula I'm going to use. Now, in this particular case, because it's the same task, right? Same task, now the size of the task does not change, right? If it's 40, so here the size of the task or the magnitude of the task is 40 man days. And that magnitude will be the same. And in this instance, now there is 10 men. Not 5 men, now we have 10 men. And they are asking how many days. Number of days, I'll just put D. Now, how do you find D? 40 is here. This 10, when I bring to other side, it becomes division. So, excuse me, 40 divided by 10 would be 4. And D is 4. That means number of days is 4 days. Yes, we have to divide. So, this is not the same as method 1. It's a little different. But I personally have seen that most of you find method 2 easier. So now in this particular case, it's men and days. But there could be other questions. As I said, we will do those questions when we do them. But whatever the two quantities we have, men and days maybe, or could be like dogs and hours. එහෙම වෙන්න පුළුවන්. මෙච්චර කෑම එකක් කන්න මෙච්චර dogs ගානකට මෙච්චර hours ගානක් යනවා නම් වෙනම dogs ගානකට ඒ කෑම එකම කන්න කොච්චර hours යනවා. එහෙම තමයි questions එන්නේ. So if it's dog and hours, again we multiply the number of dogs with number of hours, we get the magnitude of the task. It's just an example, but whatever the quantities we have, we multiply those quantities and we get the magnitude of the task. In this case, men and days. We multiplied the men and days, we got the magnitude of the task. And in the next instance, it's the same task, so magnitude is also the same. Here, different number of men and different number of days. And we have to find the number of days. But anyhow, first answer we got here as well. Is this clear, Lama? Give me a thumbs up. All right. So you don't have to write the question now, because you have already written the question and you have written method 1. Now put method 2 and write this method. Question you don't have to write, just write method 2. I'll give you 2 minutes for this. 3 minutes.
Done.
All right, now there was actually a method 3. Method 3 I thought we'll learn method 3 as well. Right here, right now, we learn method 3 as well. But method 3 we don't use much, but at the end of the day, it's your choice. You can use whatever the method you are comfortable with. Because question, everybody gets the same question. But how you write the answer is up to you. And how you get marks from that question is also up to you. Okay. Now method 3 we are going to use algebraic symbols, right? Using algebraic symbols like x, y, wage, we use algebraic symbols to solve this inverse proportion question. Now we know we are talking about the same task. Same task will have the same magnitude, right? So now in this particular case, we are talking about men and days, right? So do you understand that number of men, when you multiply by the number of days, you get a constant. Because so let's say one person comes and does the task for 40 days. Same task, if 2 people came, it would take 20 days. Same task, if 4 people came, it would take 10 days. Same task, if 10 people came, it would take 4 days. Right? But the size of the task doesn't change. The number of men and the number of days can change. Here also, 5 men can work for 8 days and complete this task. The same task, 8 men can work for 4 days and complete 2. Number of men or number of days can change, but the size of the task does not change. Did you understand what I said there?
Yes. I didn't understand that last part of it.
Okay, so here's the thing. Now, if you take a task which is a size of 40 man days. Yes, I'll explain. 40. Let's say 20 men. Yeah, 20 men. 20 men worked for 2 days to complete a task. Now the size of the task is 40 man days. Is that clear to you? Is that clear, Lama? Yes, okay. Then, now let's say it's the same task. But there are not 20 men, now there's only 10 men. 10 men, but the same task. Same task means 40 man days. Size of the task doesn't change. So if it's the same task, earlier 20 men did it for 2 days. Now there's 10 men. How many days will it take for them to complete? 4. 20 times 2 is 40. 10 times 4 is 40. Then the same task means same magnitude. But now there's only 8 men. Now how many days will it take for them to complete?
5.
5. Yes, Maria, 5. Now again the same task. Now we have, let's say, 40 men. How many days will it take for 40 men to complete the same task?
1 day.
1. 1 second, I can't find my cursor. All right. Okay. So same task, 40 man days, which is done by 40 men now. So it will still take, it will take 1 day. But same task. Now this same task, we have 2 men. How many days will it take?
20 days.
20 days. Again, same task, we have one man. How many days will it take?
40 days.
40 days. See, in all of these instances, I did a lot of examples. See here, in all of these instances, do you understand the number of men can change? Number of days also can change. But if it's the same task, the magnitude does not change because it's the same task. So if it's the same task, the size of the task cannot change. But number of men and number of days can change. Is that clear? Ismail, is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Maria,
Yes,
is it
miss.
clear? Okay. Okay. Others? Okay. All right. That is what I will erase this one. Seems all of you understood. But that is exactly what I meant here. Now, number of men and number of days can change, but this constant can magnitude. Magnitude of the task does not change. So here we are using algebraic symbols. Let's say for number of men, I can use X. For number of days, I can use Y. And for constant, I can use K. So usually for the constant, we use the symbol K. Okay, මෙතනට XY use කරන්න පුළුවන්. XY නැතු වෙන එකක් use කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. But constant එක නම් K කියලා දාන්න. Because generally constant වල symbol is K. Okay. Now what is, I mean, you will see that may methods තුනෙම at the end of the day, we're talking about the same thing. Same thing, just three different ways of looking at it. Okay. Anyhow, in the first instance, 5 men take 8 days to complete the task. So X is, so we know XY equals K. X is number of men, so 5 men. Y is number of days, so that is 8 days. Therefore, K is equal to 5 times 8, which is, therefore, K is equal to 40. K is equal to 40. Now, in the next instance, again, XY equals K. Number of men is 10. Number of days, I don't know. Now, K is 40. I already know that. So, Y equals 40 divided by 10. That is 4. Therefore, number of days is 4 days. එහෙම නැත්නම්, so this is 1, right? එහෙම නැත්නම්, here, instead of going all the way there, we know the size of the task doesn't change, no? 5 men takes 8 days to complete the same task. And now 10 men come and try to complete the task. We don't know the number of days. But still the same task, so it's K. Meyaget K na, meyaget K na, that means these two equations are equal. Therefore, we can say 5 times 8 equals 10Y. Then 5 times 8, this 10, when you bring it to other side, it becomes division, equals Y. 5 times 1, 5, 5 times 2, 10, 2 times 1, 2, 2 times 4. Therefore, Y is equal to 4. That means we're talking about 4 days. Is this clear to all of you? Nothing much, just number of men we use one symbol, number of days we use another symbol. So we are just playing around with symbols. But it's the exact same thing as method 2, just a different way of looking at it. Can you copy down method 2 as well? Because once we are done with method 2 also, we are done with the methods so that we can freely do questions. All right, Lamai, I think that's enough time to do the copying part. We are going to try 3 or 4 questions in this lesson before we move on to the next one, right? So one question we will discuss together. Go to exercise 10.1. The question that we are going to be discussing is the third question. Man days, yeah? You can see there's a lot of men and days questions in this lesson. We'll see. This is exercise 10.1. Okay. So, okay, make a Godak method 2 can tama yanatin because as soon as we are starting, they're asking about the magnitude. So that means we have to go with method 2. Anyways, a landowner estimates that it would take 10 men 8 days to clear his land. He hires 12 men for the initial 2 days. Mulimma 12 men ki katha amathak karanako. So for this particular task, to clear the land, for 8 men it takes, for 10 men it takes 8 days. That's more than enough information for us to calculate the magnitude. Okay, then we know magnitude is 10 men multiplied by 8 days, which is 10 times 8 is 80 man days. So, method magnitude is 80 man days. Is that clear? Let's go step by step. Is that clear? Others? Others? Basma, Ismail, Sanjana, Kushit, Shana, Zuha. All right. Then Roman number 2. How much of the task will be completed during the first 2 days? Then task size magnitude is okay. Now let's keep it aside. Now what has actually happened? Let's see. He hires 12 men for the initial 2 days. First 2 days, 12 men have been working. So the question asks how much of the task will be completed during the first 2 days. We can, so same thing, task completed during, again, size of the task. This means the total size of the task. We can say total magnitude. Total magnitude is the total size of the task. Then task completed during the first 2 days equals how many men have been working? 12 men have been working. 12 men have been working for how many days? 2 days. So 12 multiplied by 2, that is 24 man days. So during the total size of the task is 80 man days. During the first 2 days, 24 man days have been completed. Is that clear? Others? It's very important all of you understand. That's why. Others? Smile, Javindu, Kushit, Shanas, Zuha. All right. This is why these kind of questions are interesting. If the landowner wishes to get the task done in 6 days, now the landowner wants to get the task done in 6 days. How many more men should he employ for the next 4 days? Now, there's a little bit of a problem. No, what is the problem? We calculated for 8 days. 10 men will take 8 days to complete the task. Even though we said 10 men will take 8 days. පළවෙනි දවස් දෙකේ 12 men worked. Right? So 24 man days were completed. එතකොට, now the landowner wants to get the task done in 6 days now. Now 2 days have already passed. During those 2 days, 12 men have been working. So we were able to finish 24 man days. So from the 6 days, if 2 days have passed, we only have 4 more days. We have 4 more days remaining. අපි මුලින් බලමු how much of the task is remaining. Remaining magnitude. බලන්න total magnitude is 80 man days. Man days, you can even just put 80. Huh? During the first 2 days, we finished 24 man days. Let's subtract that. $80 minus 24 is 56 man days. So how much of the task is remaining now? 56 man days is the size of the task remaining. Up to that point, is it clear? Now, to do the remaining task, how many days do we have? Because 2 days have already passed where 12 men were working. Then ඒ දවස් දෙක ඉවරයිනේ. අපිට total 6 days නේ තියෙන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ only 4 more days remaining. How many more men should he employ? Let's see. We know our equation magnitude equals number of men multiplied by number of days. Now what is the remaining magnitude? ඉතුරු ටිකනේ අපි බලන්නේ 56 man days. Number of men we don't know. That is what we have to find. They're asking the number of men. M කියලා තියෙනවා. Number of days we know. Because now only 4 days are remaining. So M equals 56. This 4, when you bring it to this side, it becomes division. So M equals 4 times 1 is 4, 14. So M equals 14 men. Is that calculation clear to all of you, Lamai? So if I stop here, is it all correct? Is there more to do, or should I just stop here?
There is more to do.
Okay, what do we have to do? Y'all can take guesses. Based on the question that we are given with, we cannot stop here. There's more to do. Correct. Correct, Maria. How many more men they're asking, right? They are asking more men needed. More කියලා කියන්නේ තව excuse me. More men කියලා කියන්නේ තව වැඩි. Extra තව කවුද ඕනේ? Or you can just say extra men needed. So we already have 12 men, right? But in the next 4 days, if 12 men were working, that is not enough. Because to finish the remaining magnitude of the task, within 4 days, we have to employ 14 men altogether. But we only have 12 men. And extra තව කීයක් ඕනේද? 14 minus 12, we need 2 more men. If you stop here, you lose 1 or 2 marks because this is the final answer. Is this clear? All right. It's okay, Senudi. Make sure you get the recording. Huh? All right. Can you all please copy this down? Let's then, I think I will let you do a question alone. after this. Let's see. Molly make you Lian.
Miss, can you zoom out a little because my phone
Zoom
is not
out.
letting me see the picture.
Is this okay?
Yes, please, thank you.
All right. Give you 1 more minute because we have to try a question. All right, Lamel. Shall we try a question alone? I want you all to try the fourth question. Now here it's not men, na? Here we have cattle. So for magnitude, you can write as cattle days. As funny as it may sound, that's just how we do it. Cattle days. I put the question on the whiteboard. I hope you can see. Fourth question. Please do this alone. I won't set a timer because this is the first time you're trying a question like this alone. But let's go. Quickly start it. If you have any questions, ask. I'm right here. This is exercise 10.1 Lamaya, on page 116 on my textbook.
Excuse me, miss.
Yes, Ismail.
So now, since they are saying that 12 cattle food is enough for only 10 days, and they said that after 2 days. So does that mean it becomes 8 days is enough for like
No,
12
so
cattle is enough for 8 days?
this 12 days for, sorry, 12 cattle for 10 days, Keneka. From this, we can get the magnitude of the food, right? Magnitude of the food we can calculate from that. Then after 2 days, another 4 cattle were bought. So that means after 2 days, so during the first 2 days, there were only 12 cattle, right? Is that
Yes.
clear? Yes. So then 12 cattle for 2 days have been consuming food. So from the total magnitude of food, you can subtract the magnitude of food consumed by 12 cattle for 2 days. Then you get the remaining magnitude of food, right?
Yes.
Yes. Now for the remaining magnitude of food, we have a problem. Now there is not just 12 cattle because 4 were bought. Now we have 16 cattle. එතකොට plan කරපු දවස් ගානට අපිට food මදි වෙනවා. So remaining magnitude of food, and now we have 16 cattle. You check how many days will that remaining magnitude of food will be enough. So then you can get an idea about the number of days. Is that clear?
Okay, miss.
Okay.
Yes, miss.
So for others also, it might be a good explanation. So good that you asked. Yeah, I'll give you a few more minutes. Quickly do. Others also, if you have any questions, please do ask. Huh? Okay, seems like I was on mute actually. I was on mute. Okay, seems like a lot of you are done. Anybody who needs more time? Okay, you need more time. I'll give you like 1 more minute, 1.5 more minutes. Make it fast. If you have questions, you can ask. Even though I'm on mute, I can still see your messages, also can hear you.
Finished.
All right. Let's discuss, no? Let's slowly discuss. If you are still doing, you can slowly finish. Okay. In a certain farm, there were some. Balanda me wage questions valadi don't try to always use formulas and equations. First, try to understand the question practically. So there's a farm, and there's sufficient food for 12 cattle for 10 days. Right? Echarak food tibila. So we can get an idea about the magnitude of the food. Right? The method task food, right? So therefore, I'll write magnitude of the food. We have 12 cattle. We have 12 cattle for 10 days. So that would be 120. You can just say cattle days. Just something simple, no? Cattle days with both cattle days. So this is the magnitude of food we have currently. Okay. After 2 days, another 4 cattle have joined. Day 1 and day 2, how many cattle have been there? On day 1, how many cattle have been there?
12 cattle.
12. Yes. Day 2?
12.
12. Day 3?
14.
14 or 16?
16. 16.
16. 16, because 4 have joined again, right? So, that means first 2 days we have 12 cattle. We cannot ignore that. Huh? So, that means, altogether we have 120 cattle days of food. The first 2 days, 12 cattle were already there, so they would obviously consume that food. So, magnitude of food consumed in first 2 days. Bana goda complicated නෙවෙයි mas simple විදිහට මෙලියන්න. So how many cattle were there? 12 cattle were there. They were there for first 2 days. We are calculating for the first 2 days. Huh? So 12 times 2, 24 cattle days. This is the magnitude of food that have been consumed by the cattle during the first 2 days. Ehang, how much food is remaining? Hundred and 20 cattle days of food were there. 24 cattle days of food were consumed in the first 2 days. So we have 96 cattle days of food. 96 cattle days is the remaining magnitude of food. Okay. Harine. Then මොකද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ? Now 4 cattle have joined. Now new number of cattle. Earlier there was 12. Now 4 have joined. Now we have 16 cattle. So for the remainder of days, 16 cattle are in this farm consuming food. So remaining food is 96 food. To consume that 96, now we have 16 cattle. But we don't know for how many days. We'll calculate that. So magnitude equals number of cattle multiplied by number of days, right? Now what is the remaining magnitude? 96. What is the number of cattle now? 16. What is the number of days? I'll put D. So D equals 96 divided by 60. What do we get?
6. 6.
6. So we get that the number of days is 6 days. So first 2 days, 12 cattle. ඉතුරු තව දවස් 6ක් එතකොට මේ 16 cattle කාලා. Right? So for how many days is the food in the farm sufficient for one of the cattle? සාමාන්‍ය ළමයි one of the cattle කියලා කියන්නේ. So here we calculated the මෙතන අතරම අපිට for one of the cattle they are asking, right? So basically they're asking the magnitude, but let me show you. Say there were now remaining food is 96 now. So let's say now there's only one cattle. Eka cattle ගෙනයි නම් ඉන්නේ remaining food කන 96 divided by 1 we get 96 days. So if there was only one cattle, they can consume this food for 96 days. Right? Calculation එක චුට්ටක් වෙනස් වෙනවා because they're asking for one cattle. Is that clear to all of you, Lama? Is that clear? All right. They don't have to, right? Question number 1 එක clear නේ. Let's discuss question number 2. Question number 2. What is the reduction in number of days for which the food is sufficient due to an increase in the number of cattle? Then තමයි මම අර කලින් discuss කරපු එක. Then the remaining magnitude of food is 96 cattle days. Now how many cattle do we have now? New number of cattle, what I wrote earlier. Earlier there were 12, now 4 joined, we have 16 cattle. So we know our equation, magnitude, number of cattle multiplied by number of days. So magnitude is 96. Now we have 16 cattle. How many days? 96 divided by 16 equals D. So D is equal to 6 days. This is what we discussed. So this 6 means remaining days. Are 16 cattle food consume karpu remaining days ticker. Up to that point, is it clear? Okay. Now this is when the 16 cattle were eating food. So what is the total number of days now? There were first 2 days, remember? First 2 days there were only 12 cattle. එතන දවස් දෙකක් තිබ්බා. Then here we have 6 days. So all together we have 8 days. So this is the total number of days that this cattle have been eating food now. First 2 days there were only 12 cattle. Next 6 days there were 16 cattle. So 2 plus 6, now the food has been sufficient for a total of 8 days. But what did they say? They said that the food would be sufficient for 10 days. හැබැයි දැන් අපිට ඇති වුණේ 8 days වලට විතරයි. ඇයි දවස් ගන්න අඩුනේ? Because our cattle number increased. So initially they said 10 days, but now it's only sufficient for 8 days. So what is the reduction they're asking, no? They're asking the reduction in the number of days. And a reduction 10 days minus 8 days. So the reduction is 2 days. Is that clear to all of you? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, I'll give you a few minutes for recorrections, like 1 to 2 minutes. Make it fast. All right. I think that's enough time. Shall we try one more question? I will give some more as homework. I think there's a little bit of an interesting one. It's okay. Shall we try the sixth one now? Because here now it's not men and days. It's pumps and hours. Pump hours. We have 3 pumps. They have told us about hours, the number of hours, how they work. So from this we have to answer. My magnitude, if it's awkward to write pump hours, because it is kind of awkward, you can just not put any unit. Our man days, it's kind of like a standard. We usually put man days. Man days, you can just leave it without writing any magnitude. Cattle days, even okay, just letting you know. You don't have to write pump hours if you don't want. Quickly do. You can't take too much time because we have to discuss this before the class ends as well. Hope you're doing, might be a little difficult, but try your best. Even if you don't get the answer, try your best. I'll give you 3 more minutes. We'll discuss exactly at 9:25. All right, Lamai, let's discuss. I think you might be still doing, but it's okay. Up to the point you have done, let's just discuss. Okay. I mean, up to the point you have done, you can correct it, but rest of it, you can be in the discussion because I will be giving more questions as well. Can you all hear me?
Yes, miss.
A particular tank of water can be emptied in 4 hours using 3 equal pumps. The 3 pumps were used to empty the tank. Then we can get an idea about the magnitude of this task. Magnitude of the task or magnitude of the capacity of tank or clear na, as long as it makes sense, it's okay. So 3 pumps, 4 hours. And now what is the magnitude of the task? That is 12. If you want to, you can write pump hours as well. So we calculated the magnitude of the task. However, one pump stopped working after 1 hour. ඒ කියන්නේ first hour එකේ. During the first hour, how many pumps were working?
3.
Correct. During the first hour, all the 3 pumps were working. During the second hour, how many pumps were working?
2.
2. Why after the first hour only one of the pumps broke down, right? So now we have 2 pumps. So from the second hour onwards, throughout, only 2 pumps are working. But in the first hour, all the 3 pumps are working. එහෙනම්, how much more time? So let's see what happened during the first hour. Because in the first hour, all the 3 pumps work now. So magnitude of the task completed in first hour. So all the 3 pumps were working during that 1 hour. First hour can cover time cover. So 3 times 1, which is 3. So this is the magnitude of the task completed in the first hour. This is the total magnitude. Then what is the remaining magnitude? What is the remaining magnitude? Total magnitude was 12. From that, during the first hour, 3 pumps were working. So magnitude of the task completed is 3. So 12 minus 3, we have the remaining magnitude is 9. So for this remaining task to be done, now there's only 2 pumps, right? So we know magnitude is magnitude means number of pumps multiplied by number of hours in this particular case. Then remaining magnitude is 9, right? Remaining magnitude is 9. We know only 2 pumps are working. Hours gonna we don't know, so I'll put H. So 2 anipathirgyam, it becomes division. So H equals 9 divided by 2, which is 4.5 hours. Or you can write as 4.5 hours. Up to that point, is it clear? Question, but up to that point, is it clear? Others? Okay. Okay. So what does the question say? How much more time? More time for balamu than total time. Yes, Basma.
If you can't count the hours to 5 hours,
Sorry?
can't we round off the hours to 5 hours instead
No.
of putting 4.5 or 4.5?
The reason is because if you take 4.5, because for one thing, we get a direct answer, right? Because 9 divided by 2 is straight away 4.5. Not like 4.503298, not like that. We get a very direct answer. So we have to put it like that. Also, if you look at it in another perspective, 4.5 hours and 5 hours there's a huge gap between these two. If we round it off like that, it's going to be very inaccurate. Okay, so when we are rounding off, generally, if there's always a direct answer, we don't round off. But if there are like a lot of decimals happening, only we round off. Ekat, we have to do very carefully. But sometimes, let's say we get a direct answer, but in the question they say round off. Then we round off. But otherwise, if we get a direct, straightforward answer, we don't round off. But if we get a lot of decimal numbers without an end, or like a long decimal answer, we can round it off in an appropriate way. Okay, Basma? Basma, is it clear? Basma, let me know. All right. So at the quarter, now for the remaining task only, we took 4.5 hours, right? So let's see the total time taken. Initially, all the 3 pumps worked for 1 hour, right? All the 3 pumps were working for 1 hour. So initially there was 1 hour plus now there is 4.5 hours. So 4.5 hours plus 1 would be 5.5 hours. You can even put 5.5 hours, right? This is the total time taken. But they said it will only take 4 hours, right? Pumps, like one pump broke, one pump broke down. That's why it took extra time. Otherwise, if all the 3 pumps were properly working, it would only take 4 hours. But since one pump broke down, now it took 5.5 hours. So they are asking how much more time. So then how do we calculate the extra time taken? Now we have taken 5.5 hours, but it's only supposed to take 4 hours. So what is the extra time we have taken? 1.5 hours, or you can say 1.5 hours. Is this clear, Lama? Others? Okay, I'll give you 2 minutes to copy down. Don't leave the class yet. Just 2 minutes. Copy this down and I'll give you homework after that. Quickly. All right. I will share the whiteboard note with you. Can you all mark the homework? Let's do 10 point in exercise 10.1. Let's do 5, 7, 8. Then 10.2, where that is about that algebraic part. Method 3 that I taught you. Method 3. But if you want, you can use method 2 as well. No problem. Just do the third one. So this is the homework. Huh? All right. So before we end the class, do you all have any questions or any clarifications that you all need, or is everything clear? Others? Others? So, Lamai, before we wrap up, next week onwards, you will be getting, Miss Divya will not be sending you reminders. You will be getting the link through a WhatsApp number, Hope Education, not Miss Divya's number, the one that she's using, but from a different number, you will be getting reminders with the Zoom link. Or you can also use the LMS login to log into the LMS and then get the Zoom link from there. And regarding what you said that some of you cannot access or some of you didn't get reminders, I will share that with our team and we'll fix that as soon as possible. So as I said earlier, be a part of this journey of trying to improve the LMS because it's going to be a huge asset for you as well. Going to be a big resource. So yes, so let's see next week if it has improved and let's see how your login situation happens, right? I think that's all. Yeah, that's all. So 20 I told some of y'all asked me actually 28th I told you there will be a seminar, but we decided not to have the seminar on 28th because actually I took that decision last Wednesday. Remember, I think I asked some of y'all because 28th is Hajji, right? So I asked if y'all have morning rituals. I think Basma, Zuha, we have Ismail, we have Shanaz, and so y'all said that there are morning rituals, right? So if there are morning rituals, it's not okay to have the seminar. So we decided to postpone it, right? I can't remember if we fixed another date. I don't think we fixed another date, but as soon as we fix it, I'll let you guys know. Okay. Okay then. Have a great week. And do the homework and come. And good night, Lama.
Thank you and good night, teacher.
Okay, good night.